Hey Dominic, how have you been? Dominic, can you hear me?
Yeah, I was
Oh,
muted, sorry. Hi, Stan.
nice.
How
Busy, busy.
busy, busy
I'm
as
working like
always.
yeah, like it's been half a year already.
Yeah. I think we last saw each other in Berlin, right?
Yeah, but basically after the Berlin Blockchain Week, I started a grind session that's still
Mhm.
ongoing.
Wow,
Yeah, like
nice.
I've designed, submitted a bunch of European funding projects, designed a bunch of systems. Like I'm already
So are
acquiring.
there now any calls open to that support blockchain projects?
Well, like, nothing for like, I don't believe there will ever be anything just blockchain dedicated.
Hmm.
Maybe like the European Commission had a plan to do some Industry 5.0, like digital worlds kind of stuff, which merges together blockchain, virtual worlds, etc., etc., etc.
Hmm.
Um, so a bunch of topics that they
But I
have
think
previously invented.
IoT is kind of more
Yeah, yeah.
at the front now.
Yeah, so all the different technologies they previously invested
Hi,
in.
Przemek.
Hey,
So,
hey, hey guys,
yeah,
didn't want to disturb.
hey, hey. So basically, all these they're now putting them together under a term. They have a policy for that. Like again, like you know how you like has strategies, and in these strategies they have policies and implementation plans, and
Mhm.
funding is derived on from the implementation plans.
Yeah.
So basically, they have a policy for that. I don't remember the term for it, but basically they're trying to put all the innovation stuff into the same basket and just put money on that basket. Another thing is so there is Digital Europe 2030, which is like a multi-year framework, and it has four aspects. One of them is skills, digital skills.
Mhm.
Uh, so training people how to use technology is a big thing now. So basically, no money for fundamental software development of like fundamental
Uh-huh.
innovation, more on the application side and usage side.
I think that's good.
Yeah,
That's somehow refreshing looking at because I did participate in those projects, but they were kind of more like into the research and the commercialization was at the very low level.
yeah. Right now, for example, like different countries have national calls for applied innovation and innovation industrialization. Uh, like Germany has one, Bulgaria has one, in Ireland they have
Mhm.
one ongoing. So that's also like a interesting
Interesting.
topic there.
Frank, do you want to moderate the meeting?
Yeah, sure. I'm not sure if there are more people coming. So,
We have Ivan that joined. Yeah,
yeah, Ivan just joined.
it's
Have you
first time.
already met?
Hi,
Or
everyone.
hey,
Hi,
Ivan, is
Ivan.
it your first time at the call?
Yeah, I think so.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, so maybe we can do like a super quick roundtable. I can start so Ivan knows like who we are and so on. So, in general, this is the European chapter for Linux Foundation Decentralized Trust. So we meet monthly to discuss what's going on around in the ecosystem, if there are any projects that we are deploying, currently working on, based on the projects by like Hyperledger, LFDT. And if there are any meetups where we can meet around Europe, who is where, and so on. So these meetings are for knowledge sharing for Europe. And myself, I'm Przemysław Koper, and I'm CEO of SPO Software, and we are agency, one of two certified service providers for Hyperledger Fabric in Europe. On the market for 17 years. And with me, there is Dominic, head of consulting and partner at SPO. Dominic, up to you.
I think that there's nothing more to add. Maybe that I'm the formal leader of the chapter. So I'm kind of also running the show together with other people here in the European chapter, like Stoyan, like Przemysław, like others that usually join on monthly basis.
Great. Thank you, Dominik. Stoyan, would you like to say a few words?
Absolutely. Actually, I happen to know Ivan just remotely. So Ivan, pleasure to meet you actually officially. I know that you're a teacher in Sofia University in the
Good to
faculty
meet you.
that I also graduated my bachelor's in.
Okay.
Um, yeah. Well, in the context of Linux Foundation, I'm based in Berlin, so I'm hosting the Berlin event. I try to maintain a monthly meetup. Tomorrow actually is the gathering for November. And yeah, in the more practical sense of things, I run a small virtual asset service provider transitioning into a CASP that is providing crypto-based banking services across Europe and the neighboring countries.
Great. Thank you so much. Ivan, would you like to say a few words about yourself?
Hi, everyone. My name is Ivan. I'm based in Sofia, Bulgaria. I work for the Bulgarian Academy of Sciences. I also teach at Sofia University and American University in Bulgaria. I'm the founder of DIEEE blockchain group in Bulgaria, also a member of the Global Blockchain Business Council. LFDT, obviously. I think this is my first time joining your meetings, even though I kind of, signed up for those a couple of months ago, I think, but haven't had a chance so far. Very glad to be part of this whole thing.
Perfect. Thank you so much for joining. We actually, this is more on our like company side, but I'm pretty sure we can also do it under LFDT. So we also run these podcasts. So I think, Stoyan, you haven't also participated yet, right?
No, I believe we discussed this in June, but haven't.
Oh, yeah.
But
Yeah,
hey,
so there's a lot going on. So like guys, if you would like to be a part of the conversation, for like the educational purposes and so on the topic that we like both choose, then like we would be super happy to host you in our show.
I'll take you up on that probably right after New Year.
Sure, that's absolutely fine. We are not going anywhere, so we're all still here.
By the way, would you mind if I steal the call for a moment?
Yep.
Because Ivan, I'm actually super happy to see you in the Linux Foundation community because I've been trying to, being Bulgarian, I've been trying to also spin up a Bulgarian chapter for quite a while because I've been doing this
Right.
for like 2.5 years now in Berlin
Mm-hmm.
and wanted to but I guess I didn't find the right people because I moved away from the IT world
Uh-huh.
intentionally. I moved closer into finance, into the more application side of things.
Okay.
And like I'm actually teaching in the economics faculty, like Stupanski fakultet.
Nice.
I guess like on the application side, people are less organized than in IT. So I'll be spending 3 months in Sofia starting January, and I would be super happy if I can if we can collaborate and actually spin up
Let's
proper
meet.
event in
Yeah.
Sofia, like at least a quarterly meetup. There is like a lot of exciting stuff happening in the Linux Foundation. Uh, it's a like a small secret, I guess, that this entire thing is not just funded by goodwill. It's funded it's not like 40% is volunteers maximum. The
Yeah.
rest is corporate money and EU money. The entire identity vertical is basically the European digital identity. Like this
Mm-hmm.
is how Fabric, Identus, etc., this is how they started. A lot of the like newer projects, they kind of evolved from there. So, but the Linux Foundation is definitely maintaining a strong relationship with the European Commission. So a lot of the things we are doing here are crazy applicable, and yet somehow
Great.
unknown for in Bulgaria, which really frustrates me.
I'll be happy to meet you when you come back to Sofia in the beginning of next year.
Awesome.
you're welcome to come visit me in my office at the Academy. Please add me on LinkedIn as well so we can continue this conversation there.
I avoid social media like the plague, but are you on the Discord server?
I am.
Okay, I'll find you up there then.
Okay, excellent. Okay, great.
I thought you will go for Telegram at some point.
Telegram is good too. Anything. I'm kind of pretty much using everything. So whatever you please.
Sure. And we have another person coming, Ghazi. I'm not sure, is this your first time on the call?
Second
Yes,
time, because
first time
Gazi
I
was
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 on.
the presenter last time.
So
Exactly.
I was not there the last time.
Hi, Gazi.
Perfect.
Hi, everyone.
Hey. So you know what's going on. Perfect, guys. So Stan, thanks a lot for that. This is exactly, the place for doing such things, to network, arrange, projects together and so on. That's great. So maybe we can, do also like a roundtable for whoever wants to, and speak a little bit about the projects that's going on around. Stoyan actually started from the very beginning. Maybe at this point, Dominic, sorry, I would ask you, because you are like more involved in the projects. Maybe you would like to share a few words about the projects that's ongoing at SPO lately. There's a lot going on around blockchain and so on.
Yeah, of course. But if they haven't been under the NDA, I would be able to disclose more. But anyways, I was telling you guys a couple of months ago about this project in the logistics sector for tracking the production of agricultural and of food, basically in Spain. So we are we are signing now the second phase. The first phase was finished. The prototype is ready. It's running on Aperture Fabric, and now we are adding a bit more stuff related to the authorization of the users. So probably this project will be somehow described in some papers later next year, and then we'll be able to also to point to those papers. Other than that, I would say that yeah, we have Gazi today on the meeting. So last month we started also inviting new people from the blockchain space in Europe. So Gazi was the the new first external person from apart from the usual group that joins that meetings. And next month, in December, we are going to have the speaker from the Deutsche Bundesbank. That person is already confirmed, but we'll tell you more on Discord about who is actually joining. But he will be giving the speech about how they conduct DLT projects in the banking sector, in the National Bank of Germany. So I believe it's going to be a quite interesting meeting next month.
Cool.
Where is it happening?
It will be December 17th, if I'm not wrong.
But where physically? Or
Online,
like
here online.
Just online. Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
It will be under the regular monthly call for the European chapter. Yeah.
I have to. Okay. There is a lot of
have
things
to-
happening
Just
in
book the date.
December.
Save the dates. So.
I will, definitely. By the way, an interesting development as well. So you know that the digital euro is kind of happening, but not happening. So in June,
I read
Christine
in
Lagarde,
papers that it's happening, that the consortia of like 9 or 7 banks are trying to explore.
that's exactly the thing.
They're
So basically, while we were in Berlin for the blockchain week, Christine Lagarde floated this as a plan B. And basically, 2 months ago, I guess, they more or less said, okay, obviously the digital euro from the ECB is not happening, so we're going for the plan B, which is basically a consortia of major banking groups in Europe issuing their own e-money token. And the leader of that project is the ex-CEO of Coinbase in Europe. His name is Jan Sell. Like we've been having actually a lot of conversations recently because the European Banking Authority also issued some really stupid, like, again, it's a minor administration, and they came up with this bullshit idea that CASPs cannot operate, cannot hold and transfer e-money tokens.
Mhm.
And it's like, what the fuck? Like, that's 60% of the crypto business. Like, what are you thinking? So right now, as a CASP, for example, I'm actually, for me, okay, till March, till 2nd of March, basically I have leniency. The EBA, right after issuing this bullshit statement, because now they say, okay, you cannot do this because these are effectively e-money, so you need either EMI or PI license, so e-money institution or payment institution license to process e-money tokens, which is crazy retarded because it goes against all policies of the European Commission, of the European Central Bank, and everything. And when this came up, because the EBA is again as an obscure administration, nobody cares about them. They're like a tumor outside of the ECB, and these idiots still like haven't retracted that bullshit statement, and they have like an instruction to the central banks. So obviously, like we have leniency till March, but March is right around the corner in financial industry terms. So obviously, like it's a dire situation, and everybody expected this to be retracted because again, right now every CASP is incentivized to use USDT, not euro-backed stablecoins, going against the de-dollarization objective of the ECB and the European Commission.
Mhm.
So we're in this like limbo, legal limbo, which is ludicrous. And yeah, like I met with Jan like 3 weeks ago, and I was like, oh, by the way, what's happening with that? Like, I expected it to be shut down. It's not shut down. Like, you're working on this project, and it was actually super funny because the week after he pinged me again. He was like, oh, that thing that you mentioned, we just realized it's not happening, so we just start lobbying against it.
Okay.
So that's another like a curious news around like digital crypto euros. By the way, we can also like invite him to share some information on that. I don't know if he's gonna be super open to, but
Yeah. Let's see. Let's try to ask questions. Of course, it will be the open discussion for sure.
yeah.
Perfect. So on the projects going on around, maybe Ivan, Gazi, maybe you have some examples of things that you have been working on lately, might be interesting for others.
Yeah, so from our end, I mean, Zama is just focusing on the mainnet launch on Ethereum. So that's a priority, and we should be announcing it in a couple of weeks. So yeah, nothing much has changed since 2 weeks ago.
Gazi, since I missed the last code, can you give me like the crash on like what Zama doing?
Yeah, so we provide, so we are a fully homomorphic encryption company that has integrated a basic privacy sidechain to EVMs. So we started with Sepolia, now we're adding Ethereum, and the idea is to add the remaining EVMs within Q2, Q3. With that, we're able to basically operate on smart contracts and add, if a smart contract imports our library, it's able to operate on encrypted data. And so you're able to basically do a confidential token, for example, where you could transfer confidential amounts to confidential balances without disclosing anything. It's public, so everyone sees the encrypted data. Everyone is able to recompute and verify that the computations are correct, but no one knows what is the actual data. And so we have an ERC, the 7984, that is basically pushed to the Ethereum Foundation. There is technology agnostic and allows to do such transfers. And we're now building the ecosystem. So get support with custody solutions, with wallets, with bridges. So we have DFNS, Layer 0, most likely Fireblocks, etc., that are adopting the standard.
Nice.
I also work on a project that I kind of find interesting. It's on decentralized identity. Usually, when we talk about decentralized identity, we talk about identities of people, right? But I've kind of taken the model that works for people and I've applied it to objects, and more specifically, artifacts, cultural and historical artifacts. I had to slightly modify that model. I've tested it, it works. Actually, right now, I'm in the process of registering a European patent for this model through Sofia University. It takes a very long time, as you probably know, to patent something in Europe. It's like between 3 and 4 years. So we'll see how this is going to come out eventually. We're still in the initial stages of this, but it is something that I kind of stumbled upon accidentally. You know, I wasn't aware that this would be something that would be of interest to so many different parties, like, for example, law enforcement agencies, customs, art dealers, museum curators, all kinds of professionals that are in this field. So I think that might be something interesting that if there's anybody else interested in that area, you know, we could work together.
That's
Are
an
you looking
awesome.
for any specific support? Like, what would be the profile of a person that would help you here? Because, you know, like it's a huge network, right? So maybe not so many people on the call today, but, you know, we can always ask around.
Yeah, I guess there's all kinds of people that might be interested in that. Like, for example, it could be researchers or programmers who are more into the actually applied sciences, scientists as well, people in law enforcement, curators, any kind of people that are in cultural and historical heritage, people that are into decentralized identity, blockchain.
Okay, so
It'd be
pretty much
interesting.
everyone within different. Okay, everyone interested in the project. Okay, okay.
I
I was
believe
thinking,
that John Bauer can be interested for sure, because that's
Mm-hmm.
that's the topic that that was kind of he was very much involved in.
Has anyone heard from like John?
He last attended, I believe, the meetup in September or
Yeah,
yeah.
we need to
because
check
like he went back to the States
around.
sometime in
We may
September
reach
or
out to him.
October.
He's still on Discord, so we may reach out to him.
Yeah, because like we were in active communication, but he just disappeared. Like started responding slower and slower. On like since he went back to the US because of the time zone difference. It became kind of telegraphic.
We must check on him.
Yeah.
So you think he's not alive anymore, or what?
No, I'm sure, but like probably he's swamped in something. Like
Yeah, sure.
I bet there are like ton of developments on their end. Because some of the team is actually based in Europe. The other half is in the US.
Yeah. Sure. So we will reach out to him and get him in touch with Ivan. So probably there's definitely a topic between the guys. Sure.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's for the projects and for the meetups and so on. So definitely there is the biggest thing in the year. So there is the member summit. And are you guys traveling to the US for this event in January? No. Not really.
Well, no, like
We will
January is
have to
probably
organize
the
the summit in Europe next time
yeah.
in
January
Berlin.
is like the worst month to do any kind of events. Because
Yeah.
like people have traveled for the holidays. They just want to like bog down in the office and do work, like restart the year, and then you make me travel somewhere. Plus, like if I have to travel to the US, I have to plan it while I'm planning my Christmas holidays. Hell no.
Yeah, sure, absolutely. And from us, there's someone going for sure, like one or two people. We'll see. But it's also because we also help with the organization in general, and we
Oh,
do these
nice.
interviews and so on. So there will be someone from our team for sure. And any meetups around Europe in the region that are worth attending? Any conferences you guys are going to?
Frankly, I believe in the Web3 space, they're like Berlin and London are like the physical places where things happen. Paris, kind of, I guess. Eigenlayer are there, so they have something happening physically, but most of the things are actually online now. Like, just check the Luma calendar for Berlin and for London. A lot of these have like their hybrid events. They have a web component as well.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah, I'll be at the Abu Dhabi Finance Week, so not exactly in Europe, but not very far from.
And when is that?
It's in December, second week of December.
Yeah.
The UAE in general has put a lot of effort into having proper regulations around crypto and trying to attract the best projects. And so there are some interesting government-led projects around stable coins, exchanges, remittances, etc.
Okay, so, I'm looking at the list, but our team is in Saudi Arabia, in Riyadh, this week. And I don't
For the BIS project, for the BIS event.
For the seamless event, and
Okay.
plus the smaller one, it's more like a like a business networking event. Plus, we were hosting a business lunch for our contacts in Saudi. But it's still anyway. I think the last event is tomorrow, and then the team is coming back.
Okay.
By the way, Ghazi, you're based in the Emirates?
No, I'm based in France.
Oh, okay.
It just happens that I fly all over the world. So
Yeah, okay. No,
yeah.
the question was like, do you follow the events in the region? Because I remember that there was like an event that has like a spring and autumn edition hosted by the Emir of Dubai around crypto. I just don't remember the name of it. It's not going like full crypto innovation in general, but like it's crypto heavy. But
Yeah, no, so I don't know which event you're referring
yeah,
to, but
okay.
there are plenty of, important events. So there will
There
be
are.
the Solana event at the same time as the Finance Week. It's
Mm-hmm. By the way, Solana just finished their like global hackathon challenge or something. So depends what ecosystem you're in, but one thing I noticed first, all the blockchains now that we're going into the crypto winter, finally, um, a lot of the chains figured out that it's a different game now. Like the market is mature, it's not retail, it's not heavily speculative anymore, and regulated institutions are moving in, so they are like, okay, we have to make ourselves valuable to the real world. For example, Solana just figured out that the blockchain is regulated, which is laughable. Polkadot are almost there. The rest, maybe they'll eventually join someday. But literally, those communities are like ludicrous because like 6 months ago they refused to recognize that this is happening. But in this global hackathon with Solana, for the first time, they actually stopped awarding like bullshit projects. I'm sorry, but yet another infrastructure project, nobody cares. Like we have plenty of infrastructure. They actually focus on more applied projects. For example, one of the projects that ranked super high, like they have different verticals and it doesn't matter, like they have a lot of awards. But one of the recognized projects was on trade financing and forfeiting and basically like all the credit functions in trade financing. Another project that they were looking into was also like enterprise grade custody. So basically, they're doing stuff that are like 20% blockchain 80% uh, off-chain, but 100% real-world applications.
Yeah.
So that's also like a trend I see, gathering speed.
Yeah, in the RWA space, you have a few ERCs that are focusing on compliance because it's the missing link. It's usually identity and compliance. We work with some of them, like the ERC 3643 by Tokeny, and a couple of others. There is maturity in terms of the thinking about compliance, in terms of the institutional grade custody. There is just not enough adoption yet. And some of the players are tokenizing assets not necessarily for the general market, but to attract the liquidity from the crypto market. So those made millions, trading Bitcoins or whatever, and now want to have some exposure to RWA without going off the blockchain.
Ethereum have this, I don't, forgive me, but I don't remember the workflow, like a token standard for real-world assets.
Yes, so
So
there are several. The
yeah,
most famous one is the 3643
yeah.
that gathered some adoption within regulators around the world. There is also the CMTA that is Swiss specific and has been implemented by Taurus and some of the European banks. But there are others, so it's Bricken in Spain is pushing for another one. Sonics.
Buffin are sitting before the 3040, like
Yes,
the
yeah.
four
So
digit one.
there are plenty. All I'm saying is,
Yeah.
I think they figured it out not at the necessary at the protocol level, but one level up. But it does what it needs to do, as in, you whitelist the addresses that can trade, you add compliance conditions on, KYC, AML, residency, etc., to make it possible. But it's largely primary issuance. You're still lacking secondary market.
You're hitting the nail on the head because like I looked into this particular protocol, I laughed.
Mm.
You don't need that. You need an ERC20. That's it. Like
But
everything else, like basically they're trying to just put in a lot of functionality into one solution and like build again they're building monoliths on the chain, which is exactly what the blockchain is not supposed to be.
yeah, it's when you work with a lawyer and a compliant officer, you have a gun on your head and you do whatever you're asked to do. I think I'm not into RWA. I'm just saying,
Yeah.
the complexity of compliance is there, and if you are an important player, and you need to satisfy all the compliant requirements from different parties.
I I have worked on like two major jurisdictions in this, and I can easily say because I've seen this, like for example, Fireblocks are a great example. They're a massive brand with absolute steaming pile of crap for product, and the product is not bad because they don't have skill. The product is bad because it was started a long time ago and the space evolved, and they broke fundamental principles. No monoliths on the blockchain. Everything has to be microservice. Everything has to be like small and nimble and stackable. That's why we share the database. Like that's why we pay the cost. But eventually they went into a monolith, and like if you have worked with Fireblocks anytime soon, basically it's a dumpster fire. And same goes by the way for like Cooper. They started in 2021. I believe like the coding even started in like late 2022. Like at first they had this MVP for custody and like a private settlement network that we actually discussed together because at the time I was working with Propine. So we were designing stuff in parallel. Um, and they also have this problem, like they broke some fundamental. So basically, their settlement was okay. We'll create a private copy like fork of the block of the Bitcoin protocol. We'll use this for messaging, and the settlement we'll do with. At first, they wanted to do it with Bitcoin, but then I think they gave up and started settling with USDT. But anyways, like they also broke this fundamental principle, and they're also now bogged down by technical debt, by dependencies and whatnot. And they're probably like the best generic solution on the market right now. By the way, Curve, which are also a good tech provider, they just got acquired by Lloyd's Bank today. Like today, they announced it. And when we're talking custodial technology, I guess Falcon X are probably the only other people that have like some interesting solution that's like technically feasible and well written. But yeah, they're not selling. Like they have encapsulated everything. If you want to use it, you have to buy the entire thing, like all their services. But yeah, generally, like if you want to, for example, like 'cause right now I'm working on a gold back token. Like it's a thing that I've been working on for more than a year now. And when we're talking like tokenizing real world assets, token issuance, like an emission management, is one aspect. Primary market is a secondary aspect. Secondary market, completely different. And the biggest challenge that every issuer is facing is, okay, what liquidity do I actually tap into? Like I'm causing all this technical pain to myself, doing like the blockchain stuff, like issuing that token. Why the hell am I doing that? So that's the first question. And the answer that they're looking for is, okay, you tap into this liquidity. And everybody's like, okay, can I list my token on exchanges? Automatic answer is no. Your token being a asset reference token, and that's so there are arts that are not securities, that are utility tokens, basically digital deposit notes. These can be traded on most exchanges. But if your token falls under the uh, definitions of MiFID, so this means every exchange that trades your token has to have a MiFID license as well. And that's not the case for like any of the major exchanges. So you're not tapping into that liquidity. And even like pure CASP arts, the majority of exchanges, like how many gold tokens do you see on Coinbase or like Kraken or whatever exchange you like? None. Paxos Gold, Tether Gold. That's it. None of them are compliant. And potentially they'll drop out. Like for compliant tokens, it's crazy hard to be listed on major exchanges. So the only liquidity they actually tap into is the direct sales liquidity. And the only benefit is that now that your depository notes effectively are purely digital, you can trade them OTC, not only within your local network, but actually globally. And that's the actual value proposition of tokenization today. And for that reason, like identity, somewhere different, custody, different solution, primary markets, again, different solution. The token itself is just a good ERC20 token, or like I like Solana, so I push stuff there. Like a generic token is good enough. But yeah. Anyway, gents, what's exciting for the holidays? Like December is usually the event-heavy month when everybody stops working on their desk and actually starts drinking and meeting people. So what's coming in your region? I'm fairly confident you have a bunch of blockchain-based events.
Actually, like I'm thinking about Poland. So we don't plan anything for December, as far as I remember. But you're right. There should be so many events.
You have some meetups that are very local for the small communities
Yeah.
that are outside our interest, I would say. So we don't attend that meetups.
Fair enough. Well, there is like in Berlin we have the AWS executive leaders dinner or something, like some private event that I imagine would have hundreds of people. So it won't be so private. Then a bunch of communities that are having their Christmas parties, including the EUCI, which are like the lobby group in. By the way, are you familiar with them? Like Marian Marquesic is the person there.
Yeah, I've met the guy once. I actually don't remember where, but I know who he is.
Well, European Crypto Initiative is basically so you have two groups. I think one of them kind of died away because it was German-led, and anything German-led means it doesn't leave DACH.
Mhm.
But Marina is from Slovenia. Um, European Crypto Initiative is right now the biggest lobbying group in Europe.
Mhm.
So they're having also like a big event in December. Um, what else? Oh, Bitvavo, another one, like another new shining star on the horizon. They're like the biggest, they claim to be the biggest crypto exchange in Europe, which is
Mhm.
really cute because they're Dutch. And you know how Germans believe that if people don't speak German, they don't exist. Uh, so basically, they cannot imagine that there are like 196 countries outside of DACH. Um, it's really baffling idea to them. Like they've seen the map, but it's a picture, I guess. Um, less valuable than an NFT. Anyways, so same mentality goes for the Benelux. And while the Germans at least try to unite DACH, in Benelux they're like divided within the division, which is even more fun. So when Bitwavo will tell you, okay, we are the biggest exchange in Europe, this means they have 2 million customers, like registered customers, which encompasses exactly everybody who uses crypto in Netherlands. And even the Dutch speakers in Belgium refuse to use them.
Okay.
But they're like a significant player. Like they're trying to become a global business. So right now they're expanding into DACH and France and Spain, like two separate extension initiatives. So I believe we'll be hearing more from them. And they're also having like probably the biggest advantage they have is Keyrock. Keyrock is one of the bigger market makers, and they're based in Belgium. So they can like even though they're effectively a laughable exchange. I'm sorry, but 2 million customers is nothing. Because like 2 million registered means optimistically 200,000 active. And half of them would be like 200 euro. So if you remove the accountancy mistake, you have about 50,000 people trading on that platform with meaningful amounts. But they compensate for this with access to one of the biggest liquidity providers in the region. And they're well integrated into a global network, so I believe they can tap into like good 60-70% of the global liquidity. So that's also interesting development from the last couple of months.
Mhm. Thanks for sharing everything, Stoyan. All interesting as always from you. Great to hear. Okay, guys, so I think that's pretty much it. As it doesn't seem we'll meet on any of the meetups around soon, so maybe by accident at some point. And maybe there's still a chance we will meet in the members summit for LFDT. Who knows?
By the way, I'm going to be in Poland next week, the whole week. If somebody happens to be in the Krakow area, I'd be happy to meet you.
Okay. So we'll keep that in mind. Like we are in Poznań and Łódź. So I'm not sure about Krakow, but
How far is that?
oh, it's like 4 hours drive.
Oh, it's pretty far.
Yeah, so
Okay. Another time.
If you
Yeah,
get to Szczecin, drive hour and a half more, we can have beer.
so from Krakow to Szczecin, it's probably like 10 hours drive. Perfect.
Yeah.
Gentlemen,
Another
thank you
time.
so much. Thank you
Yeah.
so much for today.
you.
I'm forward for the next one, and we'll have a guest on the next one. So please remember to join.
Yes, bye-bye.
Okay,
yeah,
Thank
see you next time.
bye.
Bye.
Take care.
Ivan,
Bye-bye.
just to remind you, in the chat I've given you whatever. Bye,
Yeah, you
guys.
can.
Yeah.
See you
Okay.
around.
Thank you, Stoyan. Cheers.
Thank you.